You don't wake up one day and magically become disciplined, confident, consistent, or built different. You wake up one day and realize you've been living under a name you never chose. Not your real name, your identity name. I'm not a morning person. I'm not good at math. I always mess things up. I start strong, then I quit. I'm just not that type of person. And here's the scary part. You don't even argue with those sentences anymore. You treat them like facts, like weather, like gravity. Now imagine this. You're standing in front of a mirror, about to start something that matters. A new habit, a new channel, a new job path, a new season. You're ready until the old sentence shows up. Not loud, not dramatic, just familiar. And because it's familiar, it feels true. That's the real enemy. Not laziness, not lack of time, not motivation. It's the identity script running in the background. So today we're going to rewrite it, one thought at a time. Not with hype, with a process that works. And to do that, we're going to blend two worlds. Napoleon Hill's old-school autosuggestion and Dweck's growth mindset. Different language, same engine. Because both of them discovered the same thing. Your repeated thoughts don't just describe your life, they shape it. Now let's make this real with a story. Picture a guy named Marcus. Smart, capable, not lazy, but stuck. He's the kind of person who can talk big about what he wants. Great ideas, strong vision, but whenever it's time to execute, he drifts. He starts a plan on Monday, breaks it by Thursday, then spends the weekend feeling guilty and resetting. So Marcus carries this identity sentence. I'm inconsistent. He doesn't say it out loud every day. He doesn't have to. He lives like it. Then one night, something small happens that cracks the whole thing open. He's scrolling and sees someone say, "Your habits are proof of who you believe you are." That sentence irritates him because it feels like an attack. But it also feels like a mirror, so he tries an experiment. He stops asking, "How do I get disciplined?" And he starts asking, "What identity am I protecting when I avoid discipline?" That's where the shift starts, and that's where we start too. Because here's the first truth. Your identity is not one big decision. It's a stack of tiny conclusions. You miss a workout twice, and your brain concludes, "See, not consistent." You procrastinate on one project, and your brain concludes, "See, not serious." You feel nervous speaking up, and your brain concludes, "See, not confident." And every time you conclude it, you reinforce it. So the question is, how do we reverse it without lying to ourselves? This is where people mess up. They try to jump straight to affirmations like, "I'm unstoppable," when their life has zero evidence, and their brain rejects it. It feels fake, so they quit. So instead, we're going to use a better method. We're going to rewrite identity in 3 clean moves. First, we name the old script. Second, we choose the new script. Third, we install proof. Now, let's go one by one. First, name the old script. Exactly. Not, "I need to be better." That's vague. Name the sentence that shows up right before you quit. For some people, it's, "I always mess up." For others, "I'm not smart enough." Or, "I can't stay consistent." Or, "People like me don't win." Now here's the key. Don't argue with it. Don't fight it. Just label it. Say, "That's my old script." Because labeling creates distance. It turns a thought into an object. And once it's an object, you can replace it. With that in mind, let's move to the second move. Choose the new script. And this is where Dweck's "not yet" is powerful, because it doesn't pretend. It upgrades. Instead of, "I'm bad at this," you say, "I'm not good at this yet." Instead of, "I'm inconsistent," you say, "I'm becoming consistent." Instead of, "I can't focus," you say, "I'm learning focus." Notice the difference. You're not lying. You're declaring direction. Hill would call that definiteness of purpose. Dweck would call it growth orientation. But both agree, direction changes behavior. Now here's the catch. A new script doesn't stick because you wrote it once. It sticks because you repeat it under emotion and back it with proof. That's the third move, install proof. Because identity doesn't change from inspiration, it changes from evidence. So here's the simplest identity formula you can use. I am the kind of person who she's a she. But you don't fill the blank with a result, you fill it with a behavior, not I am successful. Instead, I am the kind of person who finishes what I start, not I am rich. Instead, I am the kind of person who tracks my money weekly, not I am confident. Instead, I am the kind of person who speaks up once per meeting. Then you take a tiny action that proves it. This is where James Clear's idea fits perfectly. Every action is a vote for your identity. So we're not trying to transform overnight. We're trying to cast votes daily. Now let's build your proof system. Start with a proof habit. One small habit that is so easy you can't explain skipping it. 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 rep, 1 paragraph. Because your goal is not the size of the habit. Your goal is the identity vote. So if your new identity is I'm consistent, your proof habit might be I show up for 10 minutes daily. If your new identity is I'm disciplined, your proof habit might be I start at the same time every day, even if small. If your new identity is I'm a creator, your proof habit might be I write 1 hook daily. Now here's where Hill's autosuggestion becomes practical. He believed that repeated statements spoken with feeling sink into the subconscious and begin shaping choices. So don't just think your identity, speak it. But speak it like this. I keep small promises to myself. I show up on schedule. I don't need mood to move. Short, real, repeatable. And now, let's connect it to a daily ritual that makes it stick. Here's the identity rewrite ritual you can run in under 3 minutes. First, write 1 line. Old script. Second, write 1 line. New script. Third, write 1 line. Today's proof. That's it. Old script. I quit when it gets hard. New script. I'm the kind of person who takes 1 more turn. Today's proof. I'll do 10 minutes and log it. Now what makes this powerful is not the journaling. It's the clarity. Your brain stops floating. And once you have clarity, action becomes simpler. Now, let's handle the hardest moment, when you fail. Because you will. And if you don't plan for failure, failure will rewrite your identity back to the old script. So here's the rule. Failure is not proof that you are the old person. It's proof that you are human. The new identity is proven by what you do next. That's why never miss twice matters. Missing once is life. Missing twice becomes a vote for the old identity. So when you slip, your goal is not to punish yourself. It's to restore the chain fast. Shrink the task. Keep the schedule. If you missed your workout, do 5 minutes of mobility. If you missed your writing session, write 1 sentence. If you missed your upload, record a 60-second mini. Because the chain is the identity. Now let's make it even sharper with a tool Dweck would approve of. Process language. A fixed mindset says, I failed. A growth mindset says, my strategy failed. That one change saves you. So instead of I'm not disciplined, you say, my system was too hard. Instead of I'm inconsistent, you say, my minimum was too big. And then you adjust. That's maturity, that's growth, that's leadership over yourself. Now, if you want this to actually change your life, you need one more piece, an evidence bank. Because your brain has a habit of collecting proof for the old story. You mess up once and it screams, "See, that's who you are." So you need a counter collection, proof for the new story. Here's how. Create a simple list called votes. Every day you add one line. Showed up for 10 minutes. Published on schedule. Did the hard call. Chose the right meal. Didn't scroll during my block. That list becomes your identity receipt. So when doubt hits, you don't argue with feelings. You show evidence. Now let's bring Marcus back. He starts with a small identity. I show up on schedule. His proof habit is tiny. 10 minutes of work on his main goal every day at the same time. The first week isn't exciting, but the calendar fills, and then something weird happens. He starts thinking differently, not because he forced it, because he has proof. By week 2, he catches himself about to scroll and thinks, "That's not what I do anymore." Not because he became a superhero, because he became a person with a pattern. That's the goal, a pattern. Now, before we close, I want you to run a clean experiment. 7 days, no drama. Here's your 7-day identity rewrite sprint. Tonight, write your old script, just one sentence. Then, write your new script using "I'm becoming" or "not yet." Then choose one proof habit that takes 2 to 10 minutes. Tomorrow, do it. Mark it. Log 1 vote. Day 2, repeat. Day 3, repeat. If you miss, shrink the task and restore the chain the same day. By day 7, you will have something you cannot fake. Evidence. And once you have evidence, your identity starts shifting without you begging it to. Now let's land this with a clear, desired state. The goal is not to feel confident. The goal is to become the kind of person who moves even when confidence is low. The goal is not to be motivated. The goal is to become the kind of person who shows up on schedule. The goal is not to change your life. The goal is to change your next thought, then your next action, then your next week. Because identity isn't rewritten in one speech. It's rewritten in small, repeated decisions that you can prove. So here's your close. Tonight, write 3 lines. Old script, new script, today's proof. Then sleep. And tomorrow, when the old sentence shows up like it always does, don't fight it. Label it. Replace it. Prove the new one. One thought at a time. One vote at a time. One day at a time. And when you're ready, we'll take this identity you just built and lock it in with the next lesson. How to track habits in a way that makes them stick.